But fundamentally, the reasons why that business failed was one, it was just because it was my first startup. And so I definitely, like, no matter how talented you are, having gone through a few cycles now, like, I just realized in looking back, every startup becomes a little bit easier, but ultimately net super tough. But going back to that first business, wow, like how important it is to pull from past experience. And if you're able to get onto that next startup, it's just massively materially easier, even though it's still hard. And so one of the main, if I look back, it was just like stupid first time entrepreneur mistakes. And then also I was a sole founder, which I highly recommend to never do. Being a founder in startups is super tough. Being a sole founder, doing it by yourself is super lonely. I can't imagine like doing it again. But that's another reason I was the only founder I was trying to get involved in a lot of decisions. I was micromanaging a lot of areas, like for instance, with product, I was trying to get in there and actually like lead product, when even today I'm not really that great at product. But back in the day, I was trying to get way over involved in every decision. So I've learned to delegate better and empower your team and your colleagues. And then also the first 10 hires that I made were friends. They were my brother, my soccer buddies, my colleagues that I've had previously that had zero tech experience. But it felt good to all be around the table because we could all grab a beer at the end of the day. But the reality was, like, none of us had startup experience. And really the core characteristic that we're all good at was doing business development. So massive crossover on everyone's skill. And so I've learned over time to, starting with the founding team, the executive team, like the less crossover you have with personality, with skills, the better. Like if you put all the founders in Cubbo in one room or Lifted, I think I've done a really good job, like super different people, little crossover. And I think that's a recipe for success. So that is like some of the areas of why that business failed.